So this is the second video of the advanced circle notes. We're going to start with problem number 4. Problem number 4 is set up just like problem number 1 from the previous video. Basically, we have the endpoints of a diameter, which means we're going to need to find the center and the radius, and we're asked to put the equation in general form. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I am going to find the center of my circle. And I am going to use midpoint. So let's see, x plus x divided by 2 and y plus y divided by 2. So 4 and 8 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 and 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we now know our center is the point 6,4. Okay. So now I'm going to find my radius. And I am going to, it doesn't matter what you use, but I'm going to go ahead and use the center and the first point 4,2. So when I do this, my distance is equal to, so I'm going to do x minus x, so 6 minus 4 squared plus y minus y squared. So let's see, 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So my distance here should be the square root of 8. Now, you might look at it and say, oh, I can simplify that, or I could rewrite it. Please don't, because especially with the fact that we're going to be squaring that value anyway, it's kind of a waste of time. So I'd rather you not bother trying to reduce it or simplify it. So now that we know our center and our radius, I'm going to go ahead and start in standard form. So remember, it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. And we're just going to fill in what we know. All right, so x minus 6 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to the square root of 8 squared. So that's standard form. If the equation, or if the problem said, write the equation in standard form, the only thing I would do is I would simplify the square root of 8 squared, just because it's easier to look at that. But I would leave this and just box it up and, call it happy. Because this particular problem says it wants general form, we need to multiply it out. So x minus 6 squared, x squared minus 12x plus 36, y minus 4 squared, so it's going to be y squared minus 8y plus 16. Square and square root cancel, so that's just 8. Okay, so now we want to collect up and put our terms in the correct order for general form. So it's going to be x squared plus y squared minus 12x minus 8y. And now I got to deal with all of those constants. So I've got 36. I'm going to add 16, and I'm going to subtract 8 to move that over to the left side. So that is a grand total of a positive 44 here. Make that equal to 0. And that is your general form equation with that given diameter. Okay? All right. Problem number 5 here. Let's see what we got. Find x such that x comma 3 is on the circle with center and radius. Okay. So if I know my center and my radius, I can write the equation in standard form. So that's what I'm going to start with. So let's see here. We've got x minus 1 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 25. 5 squared is 25. Now, I know that the y value is supposed to be 3. At least from this ordered pair, that's what we're asked for. So I'm going to fill in this y value of 3, and I'm going to solve for x. So x minus 1 squared plus, 3 plus 1 squared is equal to 25. All right. So x minus 1 squared. I'm not going to actually multiply that out. I think it's going to be more work than I want to deal with, so I'm just going to leave it as is. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 squared is 16. And I'm going to actually solve this using square roots. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. So x minus 1 squared is equal to 9. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And x minus 1 is going to equal, now, when I'm taking the square root here, x is a ordered pair. right? It's a point on the circle itself. So because it's an ordered pair, or it's part of an ordered pair, it could be either positive or negative. So I do actually want to pay attention to the fact that that square root of 9 is really plus or minus 3. Now, of course, I always write too huge for these problems, so I'm going to slide over here. So x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus 3. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 to both sides. So x is equal to 1 plus or minus 3. Now, I want to actually figure out what those answers are. So x is going to equal 1 plus 3, which is 4, and 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. So both of those are valid answers. And if you think about a circle, it makes sense, right? Every point on a circle is mirrored above and below the x-axis, or to the left and to the right of the y-axis. So there's always those mirror points that we're looking at for your circles. All right, so problem number 5 we're good on. Let's talk about problem number 6. All right, that equation, x squared minus 2x plus y squared minus 16y is equal to p, represents a circle with a radius of 2. Find p. All right, so what I want to do is take that equation and turn it into standard form, and then from standard form, I'll be able to deal, whoops, I'm throwing my eye pencil around, my Apple Pencil, deal with the fact that we know the radius is 2. So we're going to complete the square like normal. All right, let's go ahead. X squared minus 2x, little space here to complete the square, plus y squared, whoops, that's supposed to be a minus 16y, again a space. This is equal to, I don't know what. That's what we're kind of trying to figure out. So let's go ahead and complete the square. So for x, half of negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 to the right side to keep the balance. The y values here, we're going to go ahead and chop negative 16 in half, so that's negative 8. Negative 8 squared is positive 64. So I'm going to go ahead and add 64 to the right side as well. If I do a quick rewrite here, we would have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 8 squared is equal to p plus 65. Okay. Now, this is supposed to represent a circle with a radius of 2. So this part of the problem, this p plus 65, is supposed to be equal to 4. Remember, the radius squared is what this is supposed to be equal to in standard form. So that's what I'm going to make a little equation out of, right? P plus 65 is supposed to equal 4. So if we solve this, right, subtract 65 from both sides, we would get p is equal to negative 61. And that is your final answer. All right, so that concludes the advanced circle problem notes. If you have any questions or concerns, as always, send me a message in either Canvas or directly email me, and I will get you some answers.